Gayband.com, 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 gayband.com. Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the spy. 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 Gayband.com, 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 com. Gayband.com, 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 gayband.com. Gayband.com, 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 gayband.com. Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the spy. 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 Gayband.com, 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 com. Gayband.com, 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 gayband.com. Gayband.com, 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 gayband.com.
In a world where corporate interests seek to divide humankind for their own nefarious purposes, where political forces pit brother against brother in the name of social progress, where friends betray each other over one divergent word or thought, one man seeks unity through a shared love of PC gaming. He raises his golden chalice, its brilliant radiance emanating far and wide, a beacon to all who would seek refuge from the ever-present insanity of social media. He stands against the tides of internet-based hostility and defiantly bellows, "No more." Having placed his stake in the ground, he now seeks to build a PC gaming community free of politics, trolls, and toxicity, because you deserve a little slice of digital heaven right here on Earth. Devout PC gaming evangelist, blessed leader of the congregation, and savior of digital souls. His name is Cardinal Zin.
Yo, what's up everybody? Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? How are we doing today? It's just logic block programming, nothing too complicated. I see. Are you working in like Salesforce or something like that? Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Well, welcome on in. Feeling better, all shaved up again? Oh my goodness, yes. What do you think? So I kind of made a mistake with the beard. It's a little short. As you can see here, next time I shave, I really need to do this and then shave along the jawline. Then it will be good. Then it will be good. Just got a little bit too high. I'm gonna let it grow out a little bit there. We'll see how it goes. Still looks good. Thank you. I think that it definitely looks okay. It definitely looks okay. It's better than I thought it would be. I also don't have like a proper trimmer, so I kind of just did my best, which I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But hello. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to Deuterium, who late last night, I should say in the early morning hours, resubbed at 82 months, dude. 82 months, tier 2 resub. So a big shout out to him. We are gonna be looking at code today. So the purpose of these streams is to do some stuff that is related to the other streams that I do. Basically just keeping my feet to the flames so that I can move forward, right? I want to keep moving forward, and I think the best way to do that is to continually remain accountable to my bosses. That's you, chat. That's you. So that's the game plan here, is to do that. That said, we're looking at right now, this is the spawn command that I have for you know, all of our stuff on the Hightail servers. Got you. Nagdan says, I do building automation. So it's in my company's own program called Icon. I'm assuming that's how you say that. That's pretty cool. So building automation. So that's like, you know, at a certain time of the night, turn on all the lights, you know, cameras running at these times, allowing people access to the building with key cards and stuff like that too, I'm assuming. That kind of thing. Really, like, I assume. And again, I don't know if there's more to it, like industrial equipment that you're automating as well, but maybe Star Rupture was too real for you. Too close to the real thing. Damn it, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like I do this all day at work. I don't want to come home and do it more. You like it? It looks good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So this is a couple of days out from the shave, because I did shave on Monday. And my game plan is to, you know, ride it until it looks kind of not so good, and then wear the hat for a few days, and then after a few days of that, shave it. So that way it's like, I never really get to that point where I'm shaving it so often that it becomes irritated. Because that's what I was doing before. I was shaving it like every other day. And that was like, my scalp was like, please, no more. I feel like at some point, you know, I was really pulling the weird skin creature from Doctor Who at one point. Like that's my scalp, literally. Moisturize me. But mostly you do HVAC side. Got you. Okay, got you. Interesting. So then you kind of understand what was happening with my furnace situation then, huh? Yeah, you were asking like earlier how is that going and what's going on there. And so the furnace was fully cleaned and repaired. which was not inexpensive, we'll say. It wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't inexpensive. And it's gonna take, they gave me a quote. It's gonna be $14,000 to get the new cast iron boiler and the new hot water heater installed. So that's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. Now that said, there are some programs out there that may be able to help me. There is a program called Efficiency Main, and they do like low interest loans for people who are doing certain things. Now I don't know if it would be, probably not to get a cast iron oil boiler, that's for sure. But what I'm thinking about doing is pairing this with getting some heat pumps as well. Well, not typically, but after speaking with the person who was here, I said, well, what about, well, how would you go about doing, what I want to achieve here? And he's like, well, you could put a header or like a head unit inside this room, a head unit inside that big room that I'm always talking about that's very hard to heat, and then one in my bedroom. And that way it's like I've got heating and cooling in all of the places where I'm hanging out for long periods of time. And, the goal would be eventually to maybe add one more head unit in one of the other rooms here, where there may be some, because one of them is for like storage. And then there's another one that is just like, it could be used, but is just not in use yet. So, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. There's quite a few rooms here. They're just all small. So yeah, kind of interesting. Likely know what was up with yours as well. Your furnace, okay? Your furnace is acting up too. It's not fun. Not fun. So last night I was chatting with Voided Pigeon, and he gave me, it died last week, dude. It's just this brutal cold. It's making the furnaces run real hard, and all day, all night. And it's just causing problems. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Last year it died like 5 times. Oh my God. Yeah, no, thank you. I think that, so I did the math out. I was like, should I do this for like 10 years, like a 10-year loan? It's a long time, man. 10 years is a long time. Use the boiler as supplemental heat. So basically what it would be is like, if the oil gets expensive, I could rely more on the heat pumps. If electricity gets expensive, I can rely more on the oil. And one other thing that would really be beneficial is if I had a small array of solar with a battery. That would be very beneficial for me, And so once you look at all of those things, if you want to do all of that, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But the thing is, I look at this and I look at AI, and I look at what's happening with AI and how much power draw is happening. And I think to myself, dude, it's no way. It's just going to keep getting worse, I think. I think the cost of power is just going to keep going up. I don't think it's ever going to go down again. Until there are literal AI data centers in space, which I guess that's now a thing that's going to be happening, because I guess SpaceX just merged in xAI, and they're trying to like become a AI in space company now as well. Like another thing that they do. Again, all Elon shenanigans aside, that might be a good thing, only because it means no power is being used here on the planet, where it's really going to affect the cost of things for like the average consumer. So I'm all about it. Get it the out of here. You know, because all it's doing is like these data centers, they use an enormous amount of water. They use an enormous amount of power. And the data centers, they're just not really good for the environment, you know? So if they can get that, if they can kind of offshore that, off-planet that, I guess, in this case, that's good, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll see. All AI in space, all I hear is pigs in space. Vampires in space. Pretty much. So today, what I want to try to do is, so I realized, so I was talking with Voided. Voided helped me with a couple of different things here that have been very, very, very extremely beneficial. So first thing is I got this Hightail Docs plugin, which was really helpful because what it does is when you build your package, it actually starts a server so that you can like log on to it right away and test it. Right? So that's huge in my opinion. That's pretty damn cool. And it automatically installs the mod as well. So it installs the mod right to the server folder and runs the server. So all you gotta do is run the client and log in to a local server. Convenient, really convenient. As a matter of fact, just for shits and giggles, why don't we try it right now? Why don't we just try to do that? I'm just gonna build the package. And see what happens. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Restricted lang was called. Hold on. Oh no, there it is. Build successful. Okay, cool. We good. We good, chat. We good. I think. Wait, hold on. Tried to load a duplicate plugin. Okay, hold on just a damn second. Hold on. All right, hold on. What's going on here? The thing is, I don't know where this installs. Where does it install to? Does it actually say anything about it? Like it runs a command line, but I don't know where it runs it, where it actually ends up generating. So the funny thing is, I think it's because it's already got one in there. That's why this is failing, I think. Let's just see if I can run the server. Starting server. Stopped. Why? Last night this was working just fine. Okay, so maybe it's out here. Let's see here. See users. Yes. Okay, well that is a thing. Okay, that's not where it's starting, by the way. Let's see here. Hold on a moment. What's up, FPS Steel? How you doing? That's Steel Soldier. What's up, man? Brother-in-law is redoing his console. Drop some pics in the nerd stuff. Nice. You would then be supplying the utility with power. You should make money off that. Yeah, so that is a thing. There's a cool thing that you can do, Knacknud, and that is because I'm up here in the Northeast, where there's very little sunlight in the winter. What you can do is you can actually bank it with your local utility through the summer, and then in the winter claim those credits, which is pretty nice. Let's see here. Exception in the thread. Failed the boot. Oh, look, there's two. Trying to do something from this other path. That's old stuff, though. We got to get that out of there. Hold on. Okay, interesting that it's building out there. Okay. Strange. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm gonna restart this. Just see. Prototyping a bit. You were taking some inspiration from Final Fantasy 1. You love the black background with the top horizontal part having a colored background. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like black, completely black on the bottom, and then there's just like a banner picture. It's pretty cool. Nope. Server crashed again. Failed to start server. Tried to load duplicate plugin. Loading pending plugins from directory mods. Hold on. If I go and I look at that. Yeah, that needs to go away. Let's see. Did that fix it? Let's see. There There we go. Yeah, I did some refactoring last night of names and stuff. There it is. Booted. Cool. Awesome, 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 awesome. That's great. All right, we're good there now. Let's see. So now I want to try to connect to this thing. Let's see if I can. I've never connected to the server that runs through this utility before. Got it running last night and then nothing. It says here it's running. Up here it doesn't say it's... Oh, it does say it's running. That's weird. The start button is available. There it is. Status refreshed. Okay, okay. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, so let's try to connect to this local server, hey? Local? It says no servers found. Well, I beg to differ. Let me in! Let me in. Let me in! Sweet deal. There it is, baby. Let's go. Let's see. So over here on game caps. Yeah. Okay. Yes, indeed. There it is. Put that underneath my camera, though, huh? Boom. All right, so this is the local server that's running through the IntelliJ utility, or the plugin there. So that's pretty sweet. That means we should be able to, can I op self? Op self? Okay, cool. Interesting. B usually opens up diagnostic mode's on. Why isn't B opening up creative? There's a warning up there in the upper right hand corner. I wonder what that is. I can't even see it. There we go. Okay. Commands. We should see the KK whatever in here. KK spawn. Cool. And look, man, look at how cool this is. It tells you everything about this command that I've created. Points cost, it's required. Points type, it's required. So this is like how much it costs, what type of like point system, whether it's card cash, card tokens, bits, the entity ID, the player, the person who's doing it, doing the thing, the person who's activating this action, the target player, the entity quantity, like how many we want to actually spawn in. And it gives a little example here as well. It goes way off the rails, but you can do this. So points cost, let's just say it's 100 card tokens. Entity ID is crawler void, right? I think that's one of the things. Actually, what, you know, it would be better to just do a chicken. That way we know it's not that. And then we got to do activator is cardinals in. Target player is also cardinals in. What else? What other parameters were there? Oh yeah, we got to do player, and that needs to be cardinals in as well. This is like a permissions thing. I think this might be it. I'm gonna copy it. Here it is. Boom. One cardinals in spawn, one chicken on cardinals in for 100 card tokens. Now you're not going to hear any alert. You're not going to see an alert. You're not going to hear any TTS because that's not through the actual plugin. That's through all my other front end stuff. So if we did this, oh yeah, it was what is it? -- entity quantity. Let's do 5. Okay, so you can see. Okay, there are two. These two are like in each other. I was like, wait a minute, it didn't spawn 5. There we go. No, the one was the original one, and then I spawned 5, but 2 of them were like in each other. So it looked like 4, but they were 5. Yeah, if I go over here, I'll show you. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So that works just wonderfully. Now, if you notice, when they spawn in, you see that they're like facing away from me. Hold on, I'm gonna do it here. I don't know if they're always facing away. Not really, actually. That one was kind of towards me that time. So what I want to do is I want to make it so that it's like, so this is where it's going to get into like heavy math that I'm not very familiar with, to be honest. I did this stuff in high school, but it's been so long for me that I really can't remember any of that shit. So I'm going to be relying on Google heavily here. How does it feel to have the Mr. Clean top back? You feel closer to your normal self other than the beard still there? Yeah, this is pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. And I think the beard is a good look, actually. I'm still not 100% comfortable with how it feels on my face, especially while eating, but I think that it's nice. It's nice, I'll say. It just needs, the thing is, like, when I want it like short, it doesn't look very thick. You know, it looks pretty thin in places. And if I let it get thick, then it looks, or long, then it looks better, but it's a lot more uncomfortable. Give it some time, though. It will grow on you, Kappa. Excuse me. How dare you? So, yeah, that's where this is at. Can do the 5, but they all spawn on top of each other, which is kind of weird, and they're not necessarily facing me, and they're right on top of me. Yeah. Also, if I do like a, let's see here, hold on. Let's get like a really good sword. Legendary flame longsword, huh? Maybe not that one. Adamantite sword. There we go. Wow, good damage. Okay. So this is pretty interesting too. I can do /NPC clean. And everything around you just dies. So like a mercy type thing could exist. My only concern is what happens if you do that in like the portal, you know, like in the temple. Would it get rid of the NPCs in the temple? I don't know. It might. And so that would be pretty sketchy. Before that command worked, I would need to ensure that the player was in the normal world, right? Okay, let's take a look at the code. So this is what we're trying to do. Down here, you will see I've got a... This is where you will see we get the player's reference, and if it's not null, then we assign a position after we get it to this variable position. That is the full, that's the transform, right? So that is the full transform, right? Let's see here. So right there, it includes head rotation. So basically what we want to do is, this is where the rotation for the NPC is defined. Okay. And basically, the X rotation, here, let's just do something really funny. Let's put this to, I'm going to use the Y rotation just because I'm curious to see if the Y rotation would be different. Let's save this. Shut down our server. Okay. We're gonna rebuild. It's deploying. Servers up. There it goes. Done. Reconnect. Connecting. And we're in already with those changes. That's how fast that iteration is. Thank you, Voided, for helping out with that. That's incredible. You know, before what I would have to do is I'd have to go find where the jar built, copy it, paste it into a mods folder, start up the server manually, make sure that it loaded on a different screen manually, and then log in. And that was a lot longer and a more tedious process for sure. So, let's do this. We're going to do 1, and let's just see what the rotation of it is when we spawn it in. So is that Y rotation? Is it always that direction? Hold on. So is the Y rotation the one that we're looking for? Because it always seems to be this way, right? Let's see, it's all of them are always facing this way, which is east. Looks like. Actually, it's maybe not east. It's like, it's kind of strange. It's like south. It's exactly southeast. 180 degrees. Maybe, oh, is it rads? .65-ish. 0.65 is like 2/3 of a rotation. It could be if it went backwards. If we started north and we went 2/3 of the way around, south is half, right? That's 50. If we added 15 more percent, that would be kind of the way that they're looking. So it might be counterclockwise. We could do a test here. It looks like this is in rads. So I want to, hold on, let's swap this. And I want to do rotation. So let's say we want it to face south. So 0.5 rotations. Okay, that's 3.1416 radians. Right? It's pi. Okay. Let's go back to this. Pop that. 3 point. I don't know if it's gonna let this. Let's say F. So floats, right? Cast to a float. Cool intro. Don't know what we're weaving through, but it's cool. Yo, thanks. It's a giant cyber city. My coding cyber city. The entity kills for mercy. Would you be able to assign a special name to the entity so only those get killed for the mercy? Maybe if possible. Yeah, like a tag. So it is a built-in command, so I can't really do anything with it. It's like use it or don't, basically. But what I could do is I could later on I can grab all nearby entities, add them to a list, iterate through the list, you know, and then you know, just check them for some sort of property, you know, whether they're hostile or if they match a certain name, or maybe there's some like miscellaneous place where when I spawn them in, I can add info or something like that. But see, none of that can be done with this particular method of spawning, because again, it is out of the box. There's another one where you can spawn an entity that is a lot more flexible. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, so I guess we just throw an F on there and it's fine. That's all it needed was an F. I don't know how any of this works, honestly, so I just am taking it off the context clues and hoping that it works. So here we go. Now we run it again. Melissa, are you being essential today? Okay. I got rid of all those chickens. So now the idea is that by spawning one chicken, it should point to the south. It should point south is our hope. And look, it does. It does point south. Okay, so that Y value is the rotation that we want. And basically, whatever we want to get the player's rotation. And then we need to get the opposite rotation for the mob so that it is facing the player. Right? So if I'm facing north and my rotation is 0 degrees, we need the mob to be 180 degrees. And then we need to convert that to rads. Right? I don't know how we get the rotation. It might already be in rads. It looks like it is. It is for the mobs, at least. Oh, you can't even see this. Holy shit. Sorry, chat. Watch. We're going to spawn one in. I am facing... Hold on. I'm going to face north. Perfectly north. See? Facing directly south. Hey, what's up, Gregory? Hey, no worries, dude. Good morning. How you doing, dude? Welcome on in. So that's working. That's working, and it's working well. All right, let's see. Let's hide that. Okay, good. It's gone. All right, so this is all right, fix this to face the player, probably in rads, not degrees. And it sure is. So 3.1416F rads, that is, yeah. We need to get the opposite. So we need to get, let's get this velocity stuff out of here. We'll get rid of that for now. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so we need to get the player's rotation. Let's see here. So if I can do like, so we've got pref. Pref doesn't equal null. Then position equals this. Rotation equals p. Oh, we have another rotation down there. I'm gonna say p rotation equals pref dot get transform dot get rotation. Okay, but we need to p rotation. There we go. And actually this, let's refactor that from position to p position. If I can I? There we go. Refactor, rename code occurrences. Sure, yeah. And we're gonna rename this to p position for player position. Okay. Oh, look at this. It's to a vector 3D. Ooh. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Did I get some rest? I did. I did get some rest. I made some adjustments to overlay stuff, and you'll see here underneath we got a nice little cyberpunk city loop. I think it's pretty cool and all matrixy for our code time. Nice. Pretty nice, I think. Should be fun. I almost wonder if I would be better served like adding a loop to it, or like the matrix effects to it. Would it be more fun if this were like in Matrix Rain? And then we did like, oh no, that's like, even with the super small, like this is exactly what happens. It's like, you can't really tell what it is. I mean, you can kind of tell there, but I feel like the bit rate must go brrr. Like you can kind of make it out. I think that's better though, honestly. Okay, so this P rotation, apparently it's a vector. Or do we just, hold on, can we just grab this? Vector 3F. And then this goes away. There's no more of a problem here if we set this to the right thing right out of the gate. All right, so we have, so if the player reference is not null, hold on. If the player reference is not null, meaning that we got something back, because if we try to like assign values where and there's nothing there, we're gonna crash. So if the reference is not null, then we're gonna get the position, assign it, get the rotation, assign it. Okay. So we've already done that. Then what we got to do is we need to basically make this rotation equal the inverse of the player's rotation. So we need to do some math here. So we need to do this, the Y value. We need that Y value. Now, how the heck do we pull that Y value out specifically? Key rotation. Vector 3F, P rotation equals null. It's there. We get the rotation. So if I put P rotation in here, why is it trying to make me do like a local variable? I already have a variable there, right? P rotation 1 equals P rotation. Seems weird. How to break out individual values from a vector 3F in Java. There we go. To extract, use the public fields directly or accessor methods depending on the library. Okay, so it's just vector.x. Okay. So we're gonna say P, that's the full rotation. P facing, I'm gonna add this as a float. So float P facing rotation equals it should be P rotation dot Y, right? Because we're getting the Y value from this rotation and we're assigning it to this value now. P facing rotation is the Y value of this get transform, get rotation business. So now we have that Y value. So now we need to do some stuff, do some math with that. Okay, so if we know, and again, this is a, you know what I'm gonna do? Actually, hold on. Let's just do it as a debug. Let's just do it as a debug. Let's just do a message. Activators. Actually, it would be target player. Target player's current rotation, facing rotation in rads is, and then we're gonna add what is it? P facing rotation. Yeah. So this should put it in the chat for us too. It should tell us when I spawn something, it should put a message there telling us what our facing rotation is. Okay, let's save this. We're gonna stop the server. We're gonna try to build this and see if it crashes or breaks. Let's see. Should be interesting. That's cool. You like it. Yeah, you like the Matrix stuff? So we're going to stop today at 5. So I have a little bit of time between the end of this and the start of the main stream. All right, the server's booted. Let's go back. Reconnect. Dude, I love this setup. It's so nice. It's so nice. So convenient. All right, let's see here. Let's make it daytime so you can see. All right, we're gonna spawn one chicken. All right, in rads is 1.2. If I do this, it should be like nearly 0. 0.79, huh? 0.43. Oh, I see. Is it east? Negative 0.7. Negative 0.7. Negative 0.7. Negative 0.7. That's really weird. Why did the value get locked into place for like several times? Do I have the right value? Maybe it is the X value and not the Y value. It might be, hold on. Let's look way up. Negative 0.28. Negative 0.28. It's weird. What if I jump and then do it? Negative 0.28. 0.8. Negative 462. That's very strange, I would say. How many rads do you need to remove to get the inverse? So like, if this were in degrees, you just minus 180 degrees, and that would be the inverse rotation, right? So with rads, how does that work? Let's see here. Rads 2 degrees. We need 180 degrees specifically. So that's pi, right? So if I subtract that many radians, that should work, right? I would think. Let's go back to the code. All right, so we've got this rotation. We've set it at a specific rotation for now. This is always going to spawn it in at that amount. But basically what we want to do is float NPC facing rotation is equal to key facing rotation minus 3.14, right? And then this down here needs to be NPC facing rotation now. Does this make sense? So we got the way the player's facing. We get the player's rotation in a vector. We take out just the Y value. We then take that value and subtract this amount of rads from it to get the opposite rotation. This is get players facing rotation. And then set NPCs facing rotation to I can see your messages. No, I don't think the ping pong ball launcher works here because it's on Lumia, right? Set the NPCs facing rotation to 180 degrees opposite of the players of key facing rotation. but in rads. Because rads. Right? All right, we're going to shut that all down. And maybe this works. And maybe it doesn't. Let's see what happens. This is kind of complex. I've not done this kind of complex stuff before in code. So we shall see what happens. Built and deploying. All right. Well, let's get back into the game, I guess. Boom. Takes all of about like 15 seconds to get back in, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so let's see here. Normally, when we spawned it previously, a chicken would face south, which is the way that we're facing. So if this spawns in, it should face... The chicken should face that way if it's doing the old behavior. If it's doing the new behavior, it should face me. It should face me. Bam! Okay. It's like, kinda? Huh. It's like always off by a tiny bit to the left. Except for when... That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Is it because of where my head is? Maybe, oh, maybe the player rotation is different from the head rotation. Oh, that could be it. That could be it, chat. Oh my goodness, that might be it. So I'm looking that way, but it's putting it, oh, I need to do the head rotation then. Right? Because we wanted to spawn where we're looking. Because look, chat. See how I'm off to like... Okay, so let's just find north. Okay, I'm facing north. I am now going to turn my head to the west. Now, see, the body has not rotated. I'm still facing north, right? And if I spawn it in, that thing will spawn in facing south. Just like that. If I go this way and back it up, you know, he was going immediately south. Got it. Okay, so we might not have the right value. We need like the head rotation. All right, let's get back to the code. So how the hell do we get the head rotation? Get the player's transform, get rotation. Dot. Is there anything in here? Get pitch, roll, X, Y, Z, class. What about like head? Dot get axis rotation. Interesting. Get head rotation. There we go. Boom. Get the head rotation. And let's refactor this to P head rotation. Get players head rotation. Facing head rotation. Yeah, let's refactor this too. Refactor facing head rotation. Okay, so we've got the facing head rotation, which is just Y. Get the players facing head rotation. from top down, like the face of a clock. This is the Y value of the vector. Just helping myself out later because I know it's probably going to come into play. So then we set the NPC's facing rotation to 180 degrees opposite of that because it in rads, right? And then we spawn it in that way, right? NPC facing rotation. Actually, I guess we should say maybe no, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's save. Build. And go back. And again, like, I know it's like, this is like tiny little shit, chat, but it makes a huge difference. You got to think the entity's AI may be based on what it sees. So if you're not within like visual range of this thing that spawns, there may be a delay in the AI actually attacking you. I'm trying to find a way to make that happen too as well, programmatically. All right, let's try this. So to the north here. Let's see. Spawns. Let's face this way. Spawns this way. Dude, it looks like we got it. Oh, that one was a little weird. Why? Maybe it was just a strange thing. Let's face this way. And you'll see, and then we'll rotate our head this way. Yeah, buddy. That's it. So we go this way. Then a little bit over this way. Yeah. That's it. That's it. We did it. Okay, cool. Sweet deal, chat. It ain't much. But it's honest work, okay? All right. So that's good. That's really good. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to the code. Okay. Now what I would like to do is I would like to set it out a little bit away from me. So here's the thing that's going to be really interesting about this. Okay. So basically what we need to do, let me just pull up a paint here so I can try to explain what I'm trying to do here. Okay, let's see here. So, there it is. Okay. All this window paint. Okay. So, if okay, top down, this is the player. Okay. That's the player right there. Right now, when a mob spawns, it spawns right on top of you. That's bad. Ideally, what we want is to be able to define where it spawns in relation to the player. Right? So for example, if I spawn in one mob, I probably want it right here. Right? With the player facing this way. There's a tiny bit of distance between the player and the mob, you know, before the mob aggroes. That way the player can't swing the sword, you know, immediately and damage it. It needs to be just a little bit away from it. Like a block or two. You know what I mean? Even like 2 blocks would be good. The only thing that is concerning is that if something tries to spawn in, you know, 2 blocks away, if it's inside a wall, that's going to be not so good, you know? Zin, I miss your luscious locks. I miss them too. I've missed them since I was about 25. What's up, Gerald Lee? Good to see you, man. Hey, Gerald Lee. Got your stuff, did you? That was pretty fast, wasn't it? How's it treating you? Hopefully you're enjoying it, man. Let's see. So this distance, I want to be able to define that distance as well. Right? So we need like a distance parameter would be really nice. So is 1 block 1 meter like in Minecraft? So I don't know that it's a meter per se, but a block is just a unit of 1. So like, for example, if this is the grid, okay? If this is the grid that we're on, Melissa, like a big tic-tac-toe grid, right? And let's say I'm at, you know, 0, 0 right here. Then this one right here would be X1, Y0, and then whatever Z level I'm at. Z level is like height. Right? This would be 0, 0, Z. This would be 1, 0, Z. This would be 2, 0, Z. This would be -1, 0, Z, -2, 0, Z, etc., etc. We went up 1 here. It would be 0, 1, Z. Down here would be 0, -1, Z. Right? Does that make sense? It's like, you know, Cartesian coordinates, right? So basically, we just want to find like whatever our current position is and then like add 2. But the thing is, it's based on the way we're facing. So it's like a line. So what we need to do is like, it's a base, this is math, right? So we need to find a line from the player to wherever they're facing that is 2 units long, and then add that. And it could be here where it's perfect, but what if it's like this? Or what if it's like this? Well, how do you determine where this point is? Based on rads and vectors. And to be honest with you, I have no clue. So we're gonna ask the great Google how to math, okay? Gregory might know, he's the math guy, okay? So what I want to do is using vector, right, using the rotation and then putting a distance of a line of 3 in between, or 2 in between, or X in between. Ideally, I want to be able to find that. So what we're trying to find, Gregory, is we have a vector where we have rads that determine our rotation, right? So I've got our rotation in rads. And what I want to do is I want to find a point that is X away based on rads, rotation in rads. So basically what we know is we know the player's rotation in rads, okay? What we also know is the distance of the line, okay? And what we want to know is the coordinates of the endpoint of the line. That's what we want to know. So basically, we know this, we know they're facing this direction, and we know that this is going to be 3 units long, this line, or 2, or X. And so that we need a formula that will help us find this. And I have no idea what that is. So I'm going to try to ask Google, using vector rotation given vector rotation and the distance of a line, how do you find the endpoint? That's a really bad way to phrase it. To find the endpoint of a vector, given its starting point, rotation, and distance, follow these steps. Okay. If you have a direction vector, X, Y, Z, normalize it to unit length and scale by the desired distance. Okay, so this is what it's saying. This is what it says. It says normalize and scale. This works for any vector direction, regardless of how it's represented. It says using rotation, quaternions, or Euler angles. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I do have the vector. I have the full vector. So that shouldn't be a problem, right? So I guess let's go back to the code. Let me dump this in as a reference here. Find the endpoint of the player's vector given the starting point, given the player's current position, rotation in rads, and a distance that is determined by the spawning method. So we're gonna parameter. Okay. Does this make sense? So it says here normalize. Normalizing vector. And then scaling vector. So we are going to need a vector 3F, right? And then this right here, X, Y, Z. This is going to be... Does the code you're using allow sine, cosine, tangent? Sure, yeah. That stuff, I mean, it's Java, yeah, absolutely. So if we do like, where is it? Math.cosine, I'm assuming. Math. Gotta be some stuff in here. I can find it, hold on. How to do cosine in Java. Yeah, I thought that's right. Math.cosine. Yeah, right there. Maths, I know, right? That's cosine. So the head rotation. Video adjust the distance based off the size of the creature. Maybe? I mean, eventually, maybe. Like, I don't even know the size of the creature that I'm spawning. I never get that information in what I'm doing. I just kind of reference the ID and say, do spawn it. But could I get a reference to the model and how big it is? Maybe. Probably. You know? One of the things that's kind of interesting is that you could potentially, you know, instead of letting mobs like fall through the mesh, like just break the blocks where they would spawn. But that would lead to some abuse from some users to like break chests and other important things in, you know, when people were looking at them. That's all, you know. The start point is P position. And then the distance, let's just say float spawn distance equals 1. Just call it 1. And then we'll say, what do we want to do for this? It's like vector 3D spawn position equals null. And then this right here is going to be spawn position. This is kind of weird. It's like 3D. What's a vector 3D versus a vector 3F? Vector 3D versus vector 3F. One's floats, right? But I don't know what vector 3D is by comparison. Oh, the D is for doubles. Okay, okay, okay. Double precision floating point values. Okay. It offers higher precision. Okay, got it. 10-4, good buddy. Got it. So we don't really need that. Right? We can just say a float is fine. I just don't know how that math is going to math. So the X value is going to be E head rotation dot X, right? That's the direction. Dot Y dot Z. I guess I could just do P facing head rotation at that point. What's up, Akarane? Hello. So why is it giving me some shit about Z? E head rotation. Is there no Z value with that? I guess we could just use the E position dot Z. No? This is really weird. It won't let me maybe I have to do it outside of this. Float. Head rotation X. E head rotation dot X. X and rotation Y. Does not like that. Why? So confused. Why can't I do this? I don't understand. This is like exactly what we do. This right here is exactly what's done like down here. Oh, is it because, hold on. Rotate this equals, this is why, because I'm just dumb and I don't understand syntax at all. There we go. There it is. Okay. So we got the unit direction now. So now I mean, isn't that already what we have? P head rotation is a vector 3F. We don't need to do this, right? Unless we're just trying to break it out, I guess. Hold on. Let me just get rid of this and see if we can. Now that we've got the syntax right, I think we can not, we don't need that. P head rotation dot X. You think you found a good equation for what I need? P head rotation dot Y. And then P head rotation dot Z. Okay, so that's the unit direction, and then we need to divide that by the square root of this, this seems very strange. The square root of, this is so strange, dude. Like, don't these just cancel each other out? Like, square root, like if X were 3, this would be 9. The square root of 9 would be 3. So it's not just X. Why are we doing this? I don't understand. Oh, it's because we're adding it all together and then getting a square root of that and then dividing by it. Okay, that got it. I guess it's kind of weird to me. I don't know. I guess it really depends on your are you following you know, PEMBIS and all that stupid order of operations bullshit. All right, but we have this now, the unit direction. What do we want to call this? Player position plus call it P direction. X, Y, Z divided by square root. Do you care about the Y value as part of the spawn? Yeah. Well, not really. Like, I don't really care about that because I'm going to spawn it at the level that the player is currently at, height-wise. So Z level, like height of the world, that's going to be where the player is. So if player's here, I'm not going to spawn the mob here because the player's looking down and then it gets stuck in the mesh. Likewise, if the player's looking up, I'm not going to spawn it up here and have it fall to where the ground is. That's just dumb, right? So it's really just like distance of a line, but it's based on rads. What would Z be? X would be left, right. Y would be up, down. Actually, in this case, Y rotation was like, if you're looking down, it's like the face of the clock. So if you're looking at a clock, imagine that you're looking from the sky. Okay, and the very center dot of where the hands are, that's your mob. And the hands are which way they're looking. That's the Y value. Right? So if that's the Y rotation, which is like me sitting in the chair and spinning around like this, right? Like the Y rotation. X rotation, I'm assuming, would be like this. Rotating to the left or to the right of the model. And then Z rotation. Okay, so we've done this. We've done this. Right? So then at that point, I'm assuming like Z rotation is going to be like this stuff. Whether you go forward or backward from the face of the model. Right? That is magnitude. Magnitude. Okay. I'm going to look this up. Magnitude in math. It is fundamentally a measure of distance from zero or origin, regardless of direction. Got it. Okay. So really what you're saying is do a 2D vector magnitude. Because we don't care about the Z. Because we're going to take that right from the player. We only care about X, Y. I believe that's what you're trying to tell me here. But here's the thing. So magnitude is always non-negative. So how does that work? If we're spawning on the left side. Damn you, math! Should have paid more attention in high school about math. You freaking love coding. Extreme! Dude, yeah, this is extreme. We're getting into like crazy vector math now. Okay, Gregory, I'm gonna back burner your idea for just a second, okay? Only because I'm gonna try to follow through with what I've already started to implement. And if it fails, then we'll try your method, okay? If I can't make this work. T is distance divided by magnitude. So if magnitude is 5 and distance is 3, T equals 3 divided by 5. And T is what in this case? SG, how you doing, man? Happy Wednesday, my dude. So it's like square root divided by, sorry, square root, and this is of, now this is kind of crazy, X squared, or sorry, not X, yeah, X squared equals, I'm just gonna do the simple way. So it's gonna be p head rotation dot x times 2. We're literally just gonna do it that way. We're gonna call this a float. Y squared, Z squared. Right? And then down here, this will be X squared, Y squared, Z squared. And this will be, this is divided by, right? So it's P direction. Or is that normalized business? Lex Luthor with a beard. My eyes, I'm blind. My eyes. And we're gonna call this vector 3f equals p direction equals null. We're just gonna initialize it. And then down here, p direction equals all this craziness. Is that how it works with vectors? There's like a... I guess, can I see that? T is the scalar distance along the vector. I need to make Clapper work in YouTube. I wish that I could. The thing is, like, you have a different profile over here than you have on Twitch. So how do I know who you are over here so I can get your balance from Twitch, you know? That's the hard part. It is kind of tough about the multi-streaming situation, right? Am I doing this right still? So we set up a vector 3, p direction, it's null, just to initialize it. We get x, y, and z squared of the head rotation, right? Then down here, the p direction, we set it as this vector divided by this other vector, or this other math. Square root of x plus y plus z squared, right? All these. I might have to, maybe I have to do this separately. P direction, just set this like this. Why is it unnecessary? I'm confused. And that's fine. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. Yo! Thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. It is a super duper chat. Thanks, dude. That's very kind of you. Interesting. Hold on, this might be a better option here. Hold on, let's just get rid of all this. This is dumb as hell. So spawned instance is equal to, hold on here. Boo, ad, skip. Skip. Nice. Let's see. So I'm looking at this Stack Overflow. If you want to look with me, check this out. If you want to look with me, this is the Stack Overflow that I'm checking out right now. And basically it just says normalize the direction vector if needed. The length, right? The thing is, we know the length. The length is the distance that I choose, right? So do we need that? Do we need to do this part? This normalization? I wish I knew more about the actual definitions of these words so that I really understood a little bit better what's going on here. So hold on. Normalize. Yeah, actually, I got it right here. So why are we gonna, after setting this manually, why would we change it? math. That spawn distance is giving you the vector, not the distance. So it's giving me the X and the Y values in a vector. Is this proper? Join the declaration assignment. I'll just say it equals null. Okay. Okay, there's that, and then dx. Okay, we'll just call this a float dx. Direction x, so this is like p head rotation dot x divided by spawn distance, right? Float dy equals p head rotation dot y divided by spawn distance. Now, why on earth would I need a second semicolon there? I'm so confused by that. And then, okay. Find endpoint. Okay, so end underscore x is equal to whoa. Is this right? X0? Distance is whatever distance I'm choosing. Yeah, let's say I want it to be 1. But this is the thing. Down here, okay, so with this, if you see that Stack Overflow, it shows this, right? Length, that's the so-called distance. Length equals square root the direction of, you know, the x direction squared, the y direction squared, and getting the square root of those added together, right? That's like, hold on, that's not very helpful because of how it's formatted. This, and then this, and then this. Okay. So, Length would be our spawn distance. We choose how long we want the line to be, right? Yeah, I'm a little confused as to this part down here. This X0. And then it says to find the endpoint, this is what it says. This for X and this for Y. And I'm a little bit confused why it's Y0, X0. Like, multiplying by 0, I seems weird. Could it just be this? I don't freaking know, man. This is crazy. Crazy math! Look at the 3 formulas I chatted above the distance chat. T equals distance divided by magnitude. But magnitude is always positive, right? So how would you ever, like, go to the left? Given a starting point and a distance, find the end point of a line on a Cartesian plane. Holy shit, man. Starting point, rotation in rads. Okay, so this is what it says. This is crazy. Hold on. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. You don't want a negative distance from the beginning point. You want to move a certain distance along a vector to a new starting point. Well, sure, but that could result, like if you have an X value of 100, that could result in an X value of 95 when you're done. Depending on the rotation, right? Like if I'm looking to the west and I go out 5 blocks, that's going to reduce my X by 5. Right? If I'm looking perfectly west. Okay, this is pretty nuts. So, given rotation, a distance, it's kind of interesting. They wrap this stuff up in like, so my starting point is x2, y3 with a rotation of 45 radians, right? I got 45 rads. It says 45 degrees. and a distance of 5. Okay. X is equal to 2 plus 5. Yeah, this shit is, it makes no sense what it's spitting out at me. M is the distance along the vector. Sure. Yeah, the magnitude is, it would be like 5. I'm assuming like 5 is just our distance, right? I mean, our M would be the distance along, you said the distance along the vector. So it's like, I don't know. If the distance is 5, is that not just 5? Endpoint calculator. How to find the endpoint? Yes, please. Given the starting point A and the midpoint B. No, I don't have a midpoint. Okay. Does this make sense? Let's see here. If the problem involves rotating an existing point around a center point, I don't think we're doing that. To find the final coordinates x2, y2 from x1, y1. Let's see here. In a Cartesian plane, an angle is typically measured in standard position, meaning the vertex is at the origin, right, and the initial side lies along the positive x-axis for any point x, y on a circle with a radius r, which corresponds to the length of our line. The following trigonometric, there we go, ratios apply. So cosine, right? Okay, cosine and sine, sure. These definitions lead to the fundamental equations for horizontal and vertical displacement. Okay. Well, the distance will always be positive, but the coordinates may be reduced depending on the angle. You know, if I'm facing east, and I'm at 0, 0, and it's 5, it spawns at 5, 0. If I'm facing west, it's then at -5, 0 that it would spawn. You know? So these definitions lead to a fundamental equation for horizontal and vertical displacement. Basically, what they have is delta x is equal to length times cosine multiplied by rads. Or by the angle in rads. So this is what they give. This is starting to look more familiar to me based on what I've done in the past. So that's what they give for X and Y. Does that make more sense? So it's not just based on the person that it's based on the way, it's based on the, we want to put it away from where they're looking. So if I'm looking north, okay, think about it from a Cartesian plane, right? If I'm at the origin and I'm looking north, I'm facing up, right? And so if you spawn with a distance of 5, the mob spawns at 0x 5y, right? But if I'm facing east, which is this way for you guys, if I'm facing east and it spawns out 5, it has to spawn at 5x 0y, right? Likewise, if I'm facing south, it then has to spawn at 0x minus 5y. And it's all based on which way the player is facing. So basically, we know where the player is, we know which way they're facing, we know the length. We just need to determine what is the X and the Y of that endpoint of that line. And so it looks like what they are determining is this. Is that X2, which is our destination, the X of our destination, is equal to X1 plus the length times the cosine in rads. Likewise, Y, the Y coordinate, would be the same thing, just with sine. And Y1 is our position, our starting position. So let's try to do this. Okay, so let's try to implement this. So instead of this vector math, which is super duper complicated, we don't really need that. We just need the X and the Y. So if we know, so let's see here. We're gonna call this X1, or player X, float player X equals p position dot X. Okay, actually we don't even need that. We can just use p position dot X. So what do we want to call this? Spawn position X equals p head rotation dot X plus spawn distance, which is, let's just call this 5. plus spawn distance times math dot cosine, and then in here the rads of the rotation, right? So we need p head rotation dot y, right? That's going to give us the rads. That returns the rads of our rotation. Does that make sense? Ask an expression to float. Float spawn position x equals is it a double? Is it a double? Head rotation. Oh, but we have the oh, this is it's not the head rotation x, it's the player's position dot x. Okay, let's try this. Y so it is cosine for x, sine for y. And yes, we need to cast to a float because it's expecting doubles, right? Is that what it's getting mad about? Okay. Here's more math for you. Had $300, went to town, now I have nothing. Sounds like shopping to me. Sounds like grocery shopping. Okay, have I done this correctly? The spawn position X, which is our destination, is equal to the player's position X plus the length, which is our spawn distance, times cosine times rads. And actually, so the head rotation is, this is the head rotation in Y for both of them. And this right here is the X and the Y, the distance for both, cosine for X, 2 sine for Y2. Okay. Calculate endpoints. Spawn X and Y. Set distance of spawn from player. Okay, and then down here, when it actually spawns it at P position, it's a vector 3D. Set vector 3D of spawn. And that is going to be vector 3D. What's it? Vector 3D. What are we going to call this thing? Spawn position equals. Where is it? There's like a new vector 3D, and it's gonna be spawn position X, spawn position Y, and then it will be key position dot Z. Does that make sense? Did I set this up right? Vector 3D, spawn position equals new vector 3D. Spawn position X, spawn position Y. Player position dot Z. Position dot Z. And then down here, instead of this P position, it's spawn position. Okay. Let's save it. And let's give it a shot. Let's see if it will compile. Let's see if it will compile. Let's see. Did we math correctly? Only time will tell. Only time will tell, chat. Today, it's thinking about it, chat. It's really thinking about it. There we go, deploying. Wow, it's successful. That's a good start. That's a good start, chat. And, server booted. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So we're gonna face north, and this should put it like 5 blocks out from us when we spawn the chicken. Okay, check this out. Okay, so I'm facing directly north. Well, it did spawn it away from me. Hold on. Let me face east and try it again. Oddly enough, I don't see anything. So spawned it to the right of me. And again to the right of me. So if I face south, will it spawn it to the left of me? No, it's spawning to the right of me again. But because I'm using the player Z, it's going into the mesh. So I need to add like 1 to it. So let's go back to the code. Also, I'm a little confused as to why it's like 108, like why it's 90 degrees off. That's weird. We'll sort that out. Let's get the distance thing working first, and then we'll worry about the angle thing. A little weird. Or where in relation to the player it is. It's crazy, bro. Okay, let's see. So basically the spawn position, we need it to be the player's position +1. Right? So wherever they are, like, actually let's add 0.5. Actually, let's do 0.6 just in case there's like weird rounding math or something. Yeah, well, we'll do 1. We'll do 1. Okay. So the NPC facing rotation is the head rotation minus 180 degrees of rads. But it's still putting it like to the right of us. Seems weird. But okay. So Gregory, I think this is maybe, is this an easier way to achieve this? I think it seems a little easier. Math-wise, it seems easier to understand. For me, at least. I appreciate you trying to help. This is more like what I'm accustomed to, like using sine and cosine with rads. But it's not, like you said, it's not vector math, though. This is not true vector math. Okay, so we're facing directly north. That's level. That looks good. We're gonna spawn in a chicken. And it spawned in to our right. Like exactly 90 degrees to the right. So do I need to have that amount that we're adding? Let me look to the east. Will it now spawn it to on the south? Hold on. I have no idea where that spawned. So, hold up. If I look to the east, and then I do this. It says it spawned a chicken, but I don't see it anywhere. If I do it to the north, and I do it. Interestingly enough, I saw it pop in. Huh. Your YouTube just crashed? Did it? Oddly enough, not for me. Your tab did. Oh, got you. So it just spawned in, then it fell. Like, look at this. It just falls through the mesh. They're in there. Look at them. Huh. Are there more down here? If I... Huh. So spawning here, it spawns at 90 degrees to my right. Looking west, it spawns it right on top of me? Do I have the wrong coordinate? Like I've got an X and a Y or a Z messed up somewhere? So that puts it out there with the north. Do I have the sine and the cosine switched? I shouldn't. So it says X is cosine and Y is sine. X is cosine. Yes. Yes. Y is sine. Yes. I see it spawns over there. It's very weird. And then if I look east, I don't even know where it spawned it. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm gonna go up on a pillar so I can really see everything. Okay. In terms of where we're spawning. Okay, so we're looking south. Okay, that goes 90 degrees to my right. We look west. It goes right above me. Yeah, we're doing trigonometry. That's right. North, right to my right. East, I'm assuming this will be right below me. If I look east, hold on. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. So east is below me. Hold on. Let's just write this down. Try to get wraps on this. North facing equals 90 degrees to the right / east, right? When I look west, it equals spawning above me. When I look south, it spawns to my right again, to player's right. In this case, the west. And when I face east, it spawns below me. Okay, so I'm trying to make sense of this. So east is below. West is above. This has got to be messed up somewhere. There's got to be an axis messed up somewhere. Hold on. Let's try something different. Nerps, how we doing, man? The direction you're facing shouldn't matter unless the vector equation isn't correct. Right, exactly. That calculating that endpoint could be wrong, or it could be the other part wrong. I'm not sure yet. We're gonna find out though. All right, server's up. Hi, buddy. Yes, I know you're hungry. Yes, very soon. All right, so this is north. Again, to the right. Huh. Is the way I'm looking like up or down? That shouldn't matter any, right? Now it's to the left of me. Oh, fuck. So it's to my left when I'm south now. Right in front of me when I'm east. My right when... It's spawning consistently in one direction, regardless of rotation now. Yeah, it's spawning it based... I would agree with Nakna that says it's spawning on based on the body, but... Bruh. You shouldn't be. Spawn position is based on spawn position X, which is... let's see here. Player's position plus the spawn distance, and then the head rotation... It's like the cosine of the head rotation in rads. Spawn X, spawn Y. This is the player's position. This is the Z level. We're simply adding 1. Or just about 1. And then down here, when we actually spawn it, we're spawning it with spawn position, which is this. And then rotation, which is, again, X, Z, NPC facing rotation. The mob's facing the right way, I do believe. It's facing toward us correctly, based on our rotation. But the position is still wrong. So the question is, why? What are we getting wrong here? So, player position X, this is like our starting position. Player position Y is also a starting position. We add the spawn distance of 5. Which is multiplied by the cosine of the rad. Buddy? Of the head rotation. Right there, P head rotation. Get a reference to the player, get the head rotation. That returns it in rads. Right? Get head rotation. Oh, hold on a second. Head rotation is a vector 3F. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because we're getting the X of the head. Do they use Y for height? I mean, maybe? And what is that player-facing value? Player-facing value that I'm outputting. This right here, player-facing rotate. I mean, I don't even need this. I can just do this. We don't need that. Right. P-head rotation dot Y may dereference of p-head rotation. Yeah, okay, so we'll say if it's not null. Sure. We'll put that in here. So if the player reference isn't null, then we'll do this. So, oh, this right here is, so this in rads is minus 180 degrees. So we're spawning something out from us, and then we're rotating it to face us. So whatever our rotation is in rads, we're reversing the, so that they always, exactly, because pod, right, because it's always, it always faces us, right? That's the idea, at least. I mean, I guess I could I do math.py-f? That'd be more accurate. Whatever, it's fine. It's accurate enough. We're not like a double floating point precision necessity here on rotation. Mob rotation. Again, calculate X and Y. We got the vector 3D of the spawn. It's very weird. NPC facing rotation. Oh, because it's in here. Hold on. I actually do need to do this outside of it. Ah, damn it, dude. So that is why I was doing that outside of it, just because of scope shit. So this is fine. We know the rotation works fine. There's just something with this that's effed up. Do I need to ensure the order of operations by wrapping this in parentheses? Is that the problem here? Hey, bud. Well, I think... Hold on. I don't know if this is a thing. Because this is a vector 3D and wants doubles, and we were passing in floats. I mean, that's probably okay, but are you even sure which dimension is height in Hightail? Just add 5 to spawn X, spawn Z or Y to find out. Let's do spawn X position plus 10. We'll find out. It's a test. Alrighty, it's doing his thing. Build failed. P facing head rotation. Oh, yes. Okay, hold on. P facing head rotation. Let's just comment that out for now. I think we can at least assume the X is not. Yeah, it's a thing. It's like every game engine is different, right? Like how they want to do that. And it's very annoying. We got to stop here soon. I'm going to need a break between now and the start of the actual stream. Let's see. Okay, we're looking north. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it, did you? Let's look like this, maybe. So it looks like X is literally west-east. Because it's pretty far out there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, that's about... Yeah, that's between 10 and 15-ish, right? So that is X. Now let's add it to Y and see what happens. Dude, time is the enemy of man. I hate it. I really hate it. So annoying. Somebody's got to fix this problem we've got with time. So that's the... So Z is actually the Y coordinate. Y is the world height. That's why we're having a problem. So this right here, this actually needs to be plus 0.99. And what I assumed was Y would actually be the Z, right? Let's try that. I don't see a chicken anywhere now. Oh! What the fuck? Bro! What the fuck? Wait, hold on. What? What on earth? Hold on a second. What do we use? Did I put a typo in there? Spawn position Y plus 0.99. And somehow that put it like way up there. Maybe I've got this all wrong. And I need to go back to player position dot Z. Hold on. This might need to be P position dot Y. And then this is spawn position. Actually, Z. We're going to call it Z. So it's X and Z. X and Z. X is east-west. Y is north, Z is north-south. Y is depth or height. World height. Right? So we get the... It's crazy, man. We get the X, we get the Z. The new position to spawn is X. The player's position dot Y for the Y, right? Which is, again, our world height. And then spawn's position Z. All right, let's give this a shot. Holy shit, man. This is insane! That's right, Y is height. The road we placed was Y equals 117. Uh-huh, correct. That's right, you're right, Gregory, it was. Uh-huh. Y equals 117, that's the height. Yep, absolutely. So hopefully this will do it for us. Or close. We'll see. It spawned to the right of me. Spawn to the right of me again. Spawn to the right of me again. Spawn to the right of me again. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Maybe this head rotation, it has to be the X head rotation still. Oh, hold on a second. Wow, dude. Head rotation is a vector. Yeah. So they give you an X, Y, and a Z. And the Y is the, like, top-down faces of a clock. Like the hands of a clock. Exactly. Okay, to the right of me again. To the left of me. That's weird, okay. To the right of me. To the left of me. So I'm adding the distance. This is so strange. So if I look east, it spawns it to the left of me. If I look north, it spawns it to the right of me. What? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If I look to the west, it spawns to the south of me, again to the left. If I look to the south, it spawns to the west, to the right of me again. What on earth? Maybe, could it be something to do with like an absolute value needed for the rads? Maybe when it subtracts out that amount that I've added, it does some weird math. This shit's strange, man. Hold on. This should be spawning at my height. You see the problem, do you? Lay it on me, friend. I'm using different P head rotation dimensions. Am I? They're both Y here. Is this what you're talking about? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm not even showing you the code here. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, my bad. This is what I'm using right now. So Y is our, you know, faces of the clock or hands of the clock, right? So I'm using that in both cases for this math. Because we don't care about, like, the height of where, like, where the head is. Like, that it doesn't matter. It's all about the... you know, where they're facing, I guess. So X and Z, right, is what we're looking for. X and Z. X is east-west. Z is north-south, right? And Y is the world height. So spawn X is the player's X position. That's their coordinates east-west. Plus the distance of the line, 5, times the cosine of the player's head rotation and rads. Yeah, he's chatting on Twitch. He's chatting on Twitch. That's why you don't see it. So, and then we got the Z, and then right here, sine and Y. That should be okay. It's got to be something. I assume it's got to be something down here. But this is X, Y, Z, right? Oh, hold on. Is it possible that these two need to be swapped? Hold on, let's just try that. At this point, I'm just like brute force, just try whatever. This is basically our last attempt before I have to go offline for this anyway. All right, let's go. Okay. Just spawn it way out there. Oh, there it is. Okay. There's one. That spawned it like way out there. Hold on. Why is it so far out? It's so far out there. Crazy. It's like way out there. Look, there he is. Like, it's right. It's just way too many. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I do it. If I face east, will it put it out there too? Let's see. Is there a chicken falling from the sky over here somewhere? Multiple chickens there. Damn it, man. Kind of hard to tell what's happening when the chickens keep just spawning on their own. I don't know, man. I don't freaking know, chat. All I know is it's time for the mainstream. You know, I feel like this is going to happen a lot if I do this. We're going to run right up against the time, and I'm not going to take that break that I want. How does this feel? It feels great. It feels wonderful. Truly. All right. I want to say shout out to SG Black Plague for the $10 super chat. Thank you, dude. Thank you guys for hanging out for the first code stream. Looking forward to doing many more of these. And we're gonna get started over on Twitch and on YouTube vertical in just a minute. I'll see you back in a bit. Peace, friends.